In northern Vietnam, rescue and relief efforts are underway in the wake of tropical storm Kamuri. Lao Cai province bordering China is the hardest hit. The storm caused flash floods and landslides, leaving at least 100 people dead and 50 missing.
The rains have stopped for now, but the ordeal is continuing for those affected by what officials say is their worst flood since 1971. Rescuers say their focus is on finding the people still missing, although they fear they might only be retrieving more bodies instead. Officials say roads leading to the flood-hit region are either underwater or washed away, hampering search and rescue efforts. Those who escaped came away with little more than their lives.
Lũ quét cả nhà, bây giờ còn có mình tôi với đại sử là con lớn thôi, không còn ai nữa, cửa hết sạch không còn cái gì.
Even with troops racing to deliver supplies and medicine, authorities warn there is not enough food for survivors. Hundreds of foreign tourists are also stuck in the scenic region, which borders southern China. The disaster has displaced thousands of people and damaged over 4,000 homes and nearly 9,000 hectares of crops. But the Vietnamese government says the country's main coffee and rice production zones have been spared.
Well, Singaporean Maeve Tan is travelling in North Vietnam with her boyfriend and has been stranded in Lao Cai province. The train she was taking to Hanoi had to turn back after a landslide affected the tracks. Well, Maeve is now on the line to tell us more. So, Maeve, what's it like in Lao Cai now? Where are you staying? And do you have food and water?
Well, right now in Lao Cai, it's still pretty okay. That many of tourists are getting impatient, and in terms of food and water, the town is basically all right as long as the tourists have money to pay food and water, and lodging is not a problem.
Well, what was it like to be stuck on the train? How did you feel and the other people panic?
Well, it was an overnight train from Lao Cai to Hanoi, and being an overnight train, people tend to fall asleep, and no one actually found out what was happening till we woke up at about 6 a.m. in the morning, and we realized that our expected time of arrival was supposed to be 5 a.m. and at 6 a.m. when everyone woke up, we just wondered why the train came to a stop, and when we looked outside, it seemed like nothing was happening, and everyone had to wait for over an hour to 2 hours before we heard news from the local Vietnamese in the train that actually the train did not make it to Hanoi and we were stuck somewhere in between.
Well, so May, what's your plans now? And also, who are the other travellers with you?
Basically, right now we live from day to day, and we check with either the local or the travel agencies here on whether the roads and the rails have been cleared, and we just wait for a daily update, an hourly update, and so on. And most of the tourists here would exchange news amongst themselves. And right now where I am, we have a huge proportion of tourists from France, another group from Spain, and the rest are just from like America, Sweden, Norway, and so on. So everyone is just trying to stay united and exchange news whenever possible.
Thanks very much for that, Maeve, and do take care.
Thank you.